In recent years, Iran has been considering a major change, relocating its capital from Tehran to a city closer to the Gulf of Oman. This proposal has garnered significant attention, and although the legislation is still under debate, the idea is steadily gaining traction. But why would a country with a rich history and such a prominent capital like Tehran consider such a drastic move? In this video, we'll explore the reasons behind this proposed change, the challenges Tehran currently faces, and how this move could reshape the country's future. Tehran, the current capital of Iran, has long been the heart of the country's politics, culture, and economy. However, it is also a city on the brink of collapse. Tehran has been dealing with a host of severe problems for years, and many of these issues have become so entrenched that they seem insurmountable. The main challenges facing Tehran today are overpopulation, air pollution, traffic congestion, the risk of earthquakes, and a lack of water resources. Tehran's population is growing at an alarming rate. The city itself is home to about 9 million people, but when you include the surrounding metropolitan area, that number rises to more than 14 million. The situation is expected to worsen in the coming decades. A report from the Center for Progress and Development of Iran, published in September 2018, predicted that Tehran's population could surge to 20 million by 2040. Imagine managing a city of that size with the infrastructure and resources currently available in Tehran. It's not just a matter of overcrowding, it's a fundamental issue of capacity. While people flock to Tehran from rural areas in search of better opportunities, the city's infrastructure is ill-equipped to handle such rapid urbanization. The result? Worsening traffic jams, a strain on public services, and a general decline in quality of life for residents. Tehran is among the most polluted cities in the world, with air quality that is often rated as hazardous. The combination of heavy traffic, industrial activity, and a lack of proper urban planning has made Tehran's air quality one of the worst globally. The consequences are dire. More than 6,400 people die each year from air pollution-related diseases. The city's residents, particularly children and the elderly, suffer from respiratory illnesses, and the impact on overall health is devastating. Adding another 20 million people to this already polluted environment could turn an already dire situation into a humanitarian disaster. Tehran is located along a major seismic fault line, making it vulnerable to earthquakes. The last major earthquake to hit the region occurred in 1830, but smaller tremors are common, and Iranian seismologists warn that Tehran could face a catastrophic earthquake in the future. In 2003, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake in the city of Bam killed more than 30,000 people. A similar event in Tehran could result in over 700,000 fatalities, which would have devastating consequences not just for the city, but for the entire country. Given the city's rapid population growth and the aging infrastructure, the risk is a serious concern. Water scarcity is another pressing issue in Tehran. The city depends heavily on underground aquifers that are being depleted at an unsustainable rate. In recent years, parts of Tehran have experienced soil subsidence, where the ground sinks as the water table drops. This is causing damage to buildings, roads, and other infrastructure, further complicating life in the capital. With all these problems in mind, the question arises, can Tehran continue to be the capital of Iran? The simple answer is no. As these issues continue to worsen, Tehran could soon become uninhabitable for millions of people. Given Tehran's mounting challenges, the Iranian government has been exploring the idea of moving the capital to a new city in the south, closer to the Persian Gulf. The city of Mahan, located in the southeast near the Gulf of Oman, is one of the top contenders for this new capital. Mahan offers several strategic advantages. First, it's located in a region that is less prone to the environmental and seismic challenges that plague Tehran. Additionally, Mahan's proximity to the Gulf of Oman positions it close to important trade corridors. These include the International North-South Transport Corridor, INSTC, which links Russia to India via Iran, bypassing the geopolitical spheres of Western and Chinese influence. For Iran, moving the capital to Mahan could help the country better capitalize on its strategic position in the region, while also alleviating some of the logistical challenges that Tehran faces. The move could also improve the overall efficiency of Iran's transportation and trade networks, creating a more effective economic environment for the country. One of the key motivations behind moving the capital is to boost Iran's economy. By shifting the political and economic center of gravity to the south, Iran could streamline its trade operations. Right now, much of Iran's trade requires goods to be shipped from the southern ports to Tehran for processing before being sent back south for export. Moving industries and production closer to the ports would reduce this inefficiency, cut transportation costs, and improve productivity. Moreover, Tehran currently accounts for roughly 30% of Iran's GDP. Moving industries and businesses south would decentralize economic power, making the country's economy less reliant on one city and providing a better opportunity for growth in other provinces. This could potentially help revitalize parts of Iran that have been left behind in the country's rapid urbanization. While the economic arguments are compelling, the political and security implications of such a move cannot be ignored. Iran's supreme leader and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, seem to view the relocation of the capital as a way to safeguard the government from the increasing frequency of anti-government protests in Tehran. These protests, which have erupted in response to issues like political corruption, economic hardship, and the treatment of women, are becoming more common and more intense. The idea of moving the capital to Mahan, which is located about 400 kilometers away from Tehran, is partly motivated by the desire to create a more defensible political center. By placing the seat of government in a more remote location, Iran's leadership would make it more difficult for protesters to reach the center of power. This would help prevent uprisings from destabilizing the government. Moving the capital to Mahan would come at a significant cost. Estimates suggest that the project could cost anywhere from $10 billion to $50 billion, depending on the scope of the relocation, including urban planning, infrastructure development, and land acquisition. Given Iran's ongoing economic struggles, exacerbated by declining oil revenues and international sanctions, this could be a major financial burden. The country's national treasury is already stretched thin, and funding such a large-scale project could be a huge challenge. However, some argue that the benefits of decentralizing the capital could outweigh the costs. By spreading economic activity more evenly across the country and reducing the strain on Tehran, Iran could create a more balanced and resilient economy. This could be crucial for the country's long-term stability and growth. Beyond the internal challenges, the move of the capital has significant geopolitical implications. The new location would place Iran closer to key international trade routes, such as the INSTC. This trade corridor is vital for Russia, Iran, and India as it connects key markets across 3 major countries. By moving closer to this corridor, Iran could become a more integral player in international trade, further boosting its economy. However, there are risks as well. Mahan's proximity to the sea means it would be more vulnerable to naval threats, particularly from the US Navy's 5th Fleet, which operates in the region. While relations between Iran and the West remain tense, Iran's leaders may feel that the economic advantages of the move outweigh the security risks in the long term. The idea of relocating Iran's capital is not a new one. Discussions about moving the capital have been around since before the Islamic Revolution of 1979. In the 1990s, proposals to move the capital were made in response to Tehran's growing population and environmental concerns. However, previous attempts to relocate the capital were met with political resistance, and no formal decision was ever made. Similar proposals were brought up between 2005 and 2013, but again, they were shot down by lawmakers who believed the focus should be on improving Tehran's existing infrastructure. Now, the idea has resurfaced once again, and President Raisi seems to be making a push for the move. However, there is still significant resistance from both the public and lawmakers. The process would require passing legislation, securing the necessary political support, and addressing the financial challenges. Given the complexity of the situation, it remains to be seen whether the plan will gain the momentum needed to become a reality. The decision to move Iran's capital is a complex one. On the one hand, the country faces severe challenges in Tehran, including overpopulation, pollution, and seismic risks. Moving the capital could alleviate some of these problems and help improve the country's economic and political stability. On the other hand, the financial cost and potential security risks are significant hurdles that could derail the plan. What do you think? Should Iran move its capital to a new city, or should the focus be on improving Tehran?